What were the core principles of student activism in the 60s? Imagine a time when young people believed they could truly change the world. The 60s were a period of intense hope and action, driven by a set of clear ideas that guided student protests and movements. These principles weren't just about making noise, they aimed to reshape society. At the center was the belief in direct action. Students didn't just talk about change, they took it into their own hands through sit-ins, marches, and strikes. For example, sit-ins at lunch counters challenged segregation, and campus strikes protested against the Vietnam War. They wanted to show that words weren't enough and that physical presence and sacrifice could make a difference. Another key idea was free speech. The movement at the University of California, Berkeley, in 1960 fought for students to speak openly about politics and ideas without censorship. They believed universities should be places for open debate, not suppression. This wasn't only about politics but about the right to express yourself freely, especially during a time of growing government secrecy. Equality and justice were also major drivers. Many students joined the civil rights movement to end racial segregation and secure voting rights for Black Americans. Others protested the Vietnam War, which they saw as unjust and unnecessary. Some pushed for women's rights and LGBTQ+ rights, though these causes gained momentum later. The common goal was a fairer, more inclusive society. Grassroots organizing was another core principle. Students formed groups like the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and Students for a Democratic Society. These groups were run by students, not outside leaders, and they believed in participatory democracy. Everyone had a voice, and decisions were made together. This approach gave young people ownership of their movements and helped spread activism across many campuses. Education and social change were linked too. Students wanted universities to reflect current issues. They fought for new courses in Black studies, women's studies, and other fields that represented America's diversity. For example, protests at San Francisco State led to the creation of the first Black Studies departments. Finally, the era was marked by experimentation and counterculture. Many students rejected traditional values and explored new lifestyles, like communes and alternative art scenes. Music, fashion, and art became tools for protest and self-expression. These principles show how young people believed they could shape society through action, speech, equality, participation, education, and cultural change. Looking back, the 60s reminded us that, when young people stand up for what they believe in, real change can happen.